Good morning, everyone. Today we shall learn about a new machine learning concept. This is module 2, that is decision tree. See, in the previous cases, we saw concept learning using Findex algorithm and candidate elimination algorithm. Once you apply those algorithms for any training data set, you will get hypothesis as the final result. That hypothesis you can use it to test new unseen data. See, that is what we have understood in those algorithms. Two algorithm, Findex and candidate elimination algorithm, wherein if you apply the algorithms for the training data, final result is the hypothesis that you are going to get. Okay, hypothesis you'll get. So hypothesis we can use to classify the new data, new unseen data that is enjoy sport. If you give new attribute values, new condition, weather condition, based on which that hypothesis will classify enjoy sport is true or false. That's what we have learned. Here we are going through a new concept called as decision tree. What is decision tree? See, trees you have understood. You have already studied trees. It will have nodes, branches, subtree like that. It starts with a root node, and subnodes and connecting branches and leaf. So these things will be there in a tree. So decision tree means here in the previous cases we got the hypothesis as the output, but here in decision tree for the given training data we'll write the tree. We'll write that tree. Once you write the tree, using that tree, we can classify the new examples. Okay. We have the training data. See, in each and every machine learning case, we will have the training data. So that training data we'll use and we'll construct the tree. So once you construct the tree, once you construct the tree, uh, once we go get the tree, that tree can be used to classify the new data, unseen data. Is it clear? So these are the topics we are going to study in this chapter. How we are going to represent the decision tree, and there is one algorithm which we will be studying ID3 algorithm. Using this algorithm, how to create the tree. And two topics are there: entropy and information gain. They are very important. When we talk about decision tree, entropy and information gain are the most important concepts uh, which you need to understand. And one more thing is the overfitting. What is overfitting and all, we shall discuss later. So we have a new training data here, play tennis. So play tennis, can you play tennis or not? Yes or no? That is our final classification. Final column always represents the result, yes or no. Whether play tennis, can you play tennis or not? Yes or no. To decide that, we are considering four attributes. Outlook. Outlook can be sunny, overcast, or rain. Temperature. Temperature can be hot, mild, or cool. Humidity. It may be high or normal. Wind. Strong or weak. So four attributes are there. They have got its own values. Based on these values of these respective attributes, we are going to say play tennis is yes or no. So we have some 14 examples here. 14 training data is present here. For this data, we are going to construct a decision tree. And other than these conditions, if any new condition is given, then our tree will suggest us whether you can, whether play tennis is yes or no. So that tree, with the help of that tree, you can understand play tennis is yes or no. See, this is a tree for that given training data. Okay, but don't worry how you got this tree and all. Let's not worry about it right now. For that data, I have framed a tree here. Okay, for that given data, we have constructed a tree. So tree is like this. Okay, just see the tree. Tree is like this. What are the things you notice? You just observe the tree with respect to this data. So this is the given training data. For this data, we have already constructed a tree. See, we have to use an algorithm to do this. Right now, I have already constructed it. Training data is there, okay, which has got 4 attributes, one classification, yes or no. So tree has already been constructed. Fine. Now I will get a new query. Outlook is equal to sunny, temperature is equal to hot, humidity is equal to high, wind is equal to strong. So if this is the condition, what is the result? So let's see. Outlook. Outlook is equal to sunny, it is saying. Outlook is equal to sunny. We'll come here. Okay, next humidity. Humidity is high. Okay, if humidity is high, what is the result? Lateness is no. Is it clear? Outlook is equal to sunny, humidity, and humidity is high. So lateness is no. Is it clear? So we have to construct a decision tree for the given training data, and tree will look like this. Using this tree, we can classify the new data. So basically, decision tree is represented like this. It is nothing but disjunction of conjunction of constraints. In the previous example, uh, outlook is equal to sunny and humidity is equal to normal. Then Platonist is yes. See here, outlook is equal to sunny, humidity if it is normal, then Platonist is yes. Or outlook is equal to overcast, yes, Platonist. Or outlook is equal to rain, wind is equal to weak, then Platonist is yes. Okay. Decision tree is nothing but it is the representation, disjunction of conjunction of constraints. Outlook is equal to see this. This itself is represented in the form of tree. Only in these three conditions, play tennis is yes. In the rest of the conditions, play tennis is no. Okay, you can see here these two conditions. If it is satisfied, play tennis is yes. These two conditions, if it is satisfied, outlook is equal to sunny and humidity is equal to normal. If these two conditions are satisfied, play tennis is yes. Or outlook is equal to overcast, play tennis is yes. Or one more condition, outlook is equal to rain and wind is weak. Then also play tennis is yes. In rest of the cases, it is no. So we have arrived at a decision tree and it can be represented like this. Okay, this represented and this representation is nothing but decision tree itself. Is it clear? It is nothing but disjunction of conjunction of constraint and or. Okay, so what are the things that are present in decision tree? Each internal node tests an attribute. See, each internal node, humidity node, it's an internal node. It will test an attribute. So internal node should contain an attribute. Humidity, it will test this attribute humidity and its value can be high or normal. So each internal node will test an attribute. Is it clear? Based on this attribute value, it will take some decision. Each branch corresponds to an attribute value. Okay, each branch, say Outlook has led to 3 branches. Okay, first branch is decided based on the sunny value of the Outlook. Okay, if Outlook attribute has got two values, sunny and rain, only 2 branches will be there. But Outlook attribute has got 3 branches because 3 values are there for that attribute. So If your attribute has got 4 values, it will lead to 4 branches. Is it clear? Wind has got 2 values, strong and weak. So it has led to 2 branches. Humidity has got 2 values, high and normal. It has led to 2 branches. Each branch corresponds to an attribute value. Each leaf assigns a node classification. So final leaf means ending. Okay, if you have a leaf, it will give us the final classification. Outlook is overcast, then play tennis is yes. So leaf means it will represent the final classification. Yes or no. Is it clear? So decision tree is represented based on this. Nodes will be there, branches will be there. Branches are nothing but the values of the attributes. Nodes are nothing but the attribute itself. Leaf will represent the final classification, if it is yes or no. So that is the overall concept of decision tree. Is it clear? Like how to construct the decision tree, what will be there in decision tree, how to construct we have not studied. You have seen a data set and its equivalent decision tree. What will be there in a decision tree, how you can use it, you got to know. So, but when you'll decide that we can use decision tree in our classification. See, machine learning, you have lot of concepts, lot of algorithms are there. You have to take the decision whenever you think of machine learning projects or anything. You have to make the decision which algorithm you are going to use. So when to consider decision tree? When you will think that we can use the concept of decision tree. So these are the few cases where you can consider the construction of decision tree, use of decision tree. Instances can be described by attribute pairs. Okay. Based on the instances, means examples can be described based on the attribute value pairs. Target function is discrete value. Target function is discrete valued means yes or no, only 3 or 4 discrete value. It is not a real valued function. So if it is a discrete valued, then we'll use decision tree. Disjunctive hypothesis may be required. As I said, so this is a disjunction of conjunctions. So disjunctive, this is one hypothesis, this is one hypothesis, this is one hypothesis. So in such case of hypothesis, if it is needed, then we'll use decision tree. And if your data, you're not sure of data, you think that it is noisy or some error is there, then also we can make use of decision tree. These are the some fields where decision tree has been used. Medical diagnosis, in banking, finance sectors, okay, calendars, scheduling and all will use of decision tree. Is it clear? What is decision tree? It's nothing but a tree which consists of nodes. Nodes are nothing but the attributes. Branches are nothing but the values of those respective attributes. Leaf always represents the final classification. Okay, so this is decision tree. Next question is, we had 4 attributes: outlook, temperature, humidity, wind. See, 4 attributes were there for which you have constructed the tree. Outlook became the root. See here, outlook has become the root node. Question is, why? Why outlook is root? So that is first question. Uh, what is the reason you have selected outlook as the root node? Or how you are going to select root from these following 4 attributes? Any node you select, how you are going to select any of these attributes as root? Is it clear? So in our tree, outlook has become the root. We have to find out how we have arrived at it. Next, like temperature, you can see here, temperature attribute is there, but it is not part of this tree. The temperature attribute is not part of this tree. Again, the question is why? How you have concluded that only these three attributes are enough? We need some logic, right, to write the decision tree. Okay, to represent that data in the form of tree, we need some logic. Which one has to be the root? All those kind of logic. So, as I said, we'll use ID3 algorithm. Uh, we'll use ID3 algorithm to draw the decision tree in your syllabus. Before going to ID3 algorithm, in the beginning itself, I told two things you need to understand. First one is entropy, and next concept is information gain. Before we jump into the algorithm, these two things you need to understand. What is entropy? See, entropy always represents the impurity of the data, impurity that is present in the purity or impurity in the given data, in the given example. This entropy, you just remember, okay, in many places you will come across this entropy. Entropy is always represented using capital S. Okay, wherever you see capital S, it clearly indicates the entropy. In decision tree, in future calculations, when we apply algorithm, wherever you see yes, it represents the entropy. Okay, so how to calculate this entropy? You can see this formula here, minus P subscript plus log 2, log base 2, again P. See this P subscript plus, this represents portion of positive examples. Okay, so this is portion of positive examples in the given training data. Minus P means portion of negative examples. Log 2, portion of negative examples in the given training data. Is it clear? P plus represents portion of positive examples. P minus represents portions of negative example. So minus of this log P, minus of log P. So in this example, for this data, if I ask you to calculate the entropy, you have to find out portion of positive example. How many positive cases are there? 1, 3, 7, 8, 9 positive cases are there. So entropy is calculated like this. Portion of positive example. Among 14, you have 9 positive cases. Minus 9 by 14 log 9 by 14. Minus portion of negative example. Minus 5 by 14 log 5 by 14. So that gives us the entropy of this given training data. Is it clear? Portion of positive examples log 2 minus portion of negative examples log 2. So here minus 9 by 14 log minus 9 by 14 minus 5 by 14 log 5 by 14. So this will give us the entropy of that entire data. Okay, it is nothing but the combination of portion of positive examples and portion of negative examples. So higher the entropy, okay, these things are like entropy. If it is more, the data is like negative examples. It is higher the more the impure data. If they are same, then entropy will be 1. That is positive and negative examples. If they are same, entropy will be 1. And one more thing is, uh, see, that is log base 2. Usually, if you in the calculator, if you use log, it will be base 10. See this formula, log base 2. Here you need to do the calculation. One problem will be asked in exam to calculate the entropy. So while doing the calculation, you have to make sure it is base 2, log base 2, not log base 10. So there is a difference between log base 2 and base 10. You need to be careful while calculating the entropy. You can change the base of the log in calculator from 10 to 2. Again, if the sample contain only positive or only negative instances, the entropy will be 0. Is it clear? If positive and negative samples are equal, entropy will be 1. If the sample contains only positive or only negative examples, then the entropy will be 0. Once you calculate the entropy of the entire table, then you need to calculate the information gain. Okay, information gain is nothing but the expected reduction in entropy caused by partitioning the example according to this attribute. See, we have to decide the root node of it. When constructing the tree, we have to calculate the root node. To calculate like which attribute has to become the root, to decide that, you need to calculate the information gain of that attribute with respect to the entropy. So once you get the information gain of each of the attributes, whichever attribute has got the highest information gain will become the root. We have 4 attributes: outlook, temperature, humidity, and wind. For these 4 attributes, you need to calculate the information gain. Information gain means if it is highest, then it will say that, okay, you can use this attribute as the root, because examples will be classified best if you use this attribute as the root. For that reason, you need to calculate the information gain, and it is calculated using this formula. Entropy of the entire table minus SV divided by mod S and S. See, SV represents the value, or if that attribute has got 3 values. Okay, for all values, you need to calculate this one. Is it clear? For our example, mm, for our data, training data, for this data, uh, tomorrow I will show you how to calculate the entropy and how to calculate the gain for these particular attributes. Is it clear? So in exam, definitely there will be a question on decision tree. Either they will ask ID3 algorithm, or they will ask to calculate the entropy or information gain. Okay, or they will ask you to construct the decision tree for the given particular data set. Is it clear? Okay, so this calculation and all we shall see in the next class. Entropy calculation and information gain calculation. These things we shall see in the next class. Thank you.